Oh, lads, you caught me there. Luckily, we didn't get any further. Sorry about that. Basically, the mic was slightly out. Like, it was in at the start. It must have pulled out, like, only, like, 30 seconds ago. So, luckily, I checked that. Right. We can still keep going, though. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. We, like, even though he may not like it, we have such a good list
of attacking players
that he'd start enough for me.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I don't think Ollie would like him, and here's why.
Zeke, this is just me and Timal show. It's not like a public calling. That's why he says Noah and Timal show. Up there. No offense,
but for me,
we'll be doing that tomorrow.
Since the last time Depay was here, he has a reputation of spending money from Rooney. That was probably because he was too young, but I think Ollie would probably be a bit afraid that would happen again. So maybe that's a bit of a factor, and him, he wants players that.
Yeah, and like the thing about the pies, like, I think Ollie might think. I think if United wanted to get him, they could easily have got him, but they've rejected him. There's no way that they're just gonna go here now, because they can't. They refused him. They can't. Now they're gonna be in the same like race as Barcelona. Like, you get me? Same situation, because they already refused him. So like, I think United don't want him. It wouldn't be a bad backup striker, but the problem is I think he in my opinion, he'll actually be starting a lot more games than he would for Barcelona than he would for United. My opinion, the reason is Suarez is going. Griezmann is not doing well at all for Barcelona, and he's more of playing as a left winger. Ansu Fati is gonna need to get more game time to get himself properly like grown into the squad, like United did with Greenwood, and Dembele gets injured way too much. So I think I think he'd be he'd actually start more at Barcelona than he would at United. So I think, look, he'd be good back. If he would have joined to be a backup, I would have been happy. Would have been a good backup. That's what you need. But I just don't think it would happen.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I don't think it will. Especially splashing. If Sancho does sign, which I'm 90% sure he will, he can never be 100. And
see, I think with United, like, if you put it this way, they were trying to get all the big signs out of the way. Like, if you think about it, like, it's adding up now. If you announce Sancho the week Havertz is announced, you're not going to get as much media feed. Like, don't get me wrong, you're still going to get a lot, but like, people are going to be kind of concentrating like probably 40-60, maybe 50-50. You get me? It's not like they're all, and that's what United want, all their eyes on that deal. And if United announce it, like at the start of the season, there won't be many big signings. So if you announce it then you'd get more, like, you'd get stock prices going up. You'd get money for jerseys. You make a lot of money back of it, and you'd get a lot of media attention. So I think that's what United want.
Yeah. Yeah, because we always, like, even I said it, I don't know if I said it here or I might have said it somewhere else, but I did say, like, 2 weeks after the Champions League final, things will pick up, because the heart of the Champions League final will be dead, like, it won't be there, and, there'll be nothing around, really,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like, I know it's the start of the season, but you're gonna be... Like, but United aren't about announcing them early, Zeke. United are about making the most money they can, because they know, like, that Dortmund don't want to sell, and I think United need to get that in their head. Dortmund don't want to sell. Well, it's not that they don't want to. They have a set fee, and that's all they're taking. It's not like they're going to lower. It's not like they're desperate for money. Like, let's just say Bournemouth, they probably are desperate for money. Like, they sold. If Josh King goes to United, I'm going to be very just disappointed, let's just say, because, but even at that, like, speaking of Bournemouth for a second, if they sell Josh King, that's their left wing gone, Callum Wilson gone, and Josh King, their two strikers are gone. So I don't know how they're going to manage in the Championship. Even hello, one sec, guys. I think Timal might be busy. Oh yeah, he might be busy. But yeah, I'd like down some early. Van de Beek, I think, to be honest, I think you have a couple of midfields you can do since signing Van de Beek. You could do to be honest, you could do Pogba, you could do Match, and you could do Bruno. You could do Bruno, Van de Beek, Match. You could do Fred, Van de Beek, Bruno. There's a lot of midfielders you can do. To be honest, like there's a lot of midfielders you can do. It's fine. Yeah. I knew that. I was just saying to stream to give it a minute, and it will be fine.
But yeah, as we were saying, yeah, Depay, he probably wouldn't come now. But I think maybe like the only signing I'd see after Sancho's, what's your name from Seville? I can't remember. Regulon. Thank you.
Yeah.
Regulon. That's the one thing, because he's in 30 million, you know.
Yeah. See, 30 million. I think it's either Tellez is 5 million less, but Tellez will expect to start every game, and he's more of an attacking fullback. Which United, I don't think United. I think, to be honest, I want a player that can be equal, which is Regulon. He can turn defence into attack. Like the problem with Tellez is, yes, he can defend, but it's just gonna be like kind of Luke Shaw. Like none of what people have been saying with Luke Shaw. Oh, he can only defend and he can't attack. Like if you get Tellez, you're literally just doing the same thing, except it's the other way around. Like, so what are you going to do? Or, like, why can't you have a balanced left back? Because if you have a balanced full back, he can do both. Because what United literally internally want is, they don't really need super attacking full backs, to be honest. Because if you Sancho, Martial, Rashford up front, Greenwood on the bench, and then you have Bruno, Pogba, I don't think you'd start Van de Beek the same. So, like, let's just say they do start in midfield. They won't, but let's just say they did. Like, you're not going to need that attacking mindset of the fullbacks, I don't think. Because that's 6 attacking players that can get goals or assists. So, I think personally, Wan-Bissaka attacking game still needs to improve on yet, but I would prefer more of a defensive left back than Tellez, which would be Regulon. He's not like a defensive left back, but he can do both of them, if you get me.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. I think like
that's exactly my opinion. I want 2 people that can do both.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm still, as you know, I'm a big fan of Shaw. I'm still a big fan of Shaw.
But don't get me wrong. See, people are forgetting this because we've been so poor in positions for the last few years. It's always been competition. Like, look at Man City. They have competition for front. Like, they have 5. You can make not the 5 top class players in the front 3. They like Liverpool. No, not really. Liverpool, you could use as an example, to be honest. But many teams.
No, Liverpool, you could
with defence, yeah. No, but like, see, with the defence, like loads of every team has competition for a position. Why Luke Shaw and Regulon, they could battle it out, to be honest. So what's wrong with that? Like the only reason I don't think the goalkeepers can battle it out, and I don't like goalkeepers battling out, is because it's uneasy with the defence, and the reason is because one keeper could be better at certain things than the other. Like, one keeper might not be great at doing long kicks, one keeper might not be able to do certain things. So I think the problem with rotating keepers the whole time is lack of trust, to be honest. I'm just going to read these out in the chat. I think if we get Sancho, Wan-Bissaka doesn't need to attack as much, it helps him focus on defence work. Yeah, that's a good point, but I still think we can need that. Manchester United, we Benoit Badiashile, Ndidi's Regulon. I personally think Ndidi next season. Maybe you wait another season, see who's out there. I don't think United are signing another midfielder. To be honest, I think if Thiago joined, yeah, but you're not really going to get any midfielder for 30 million or less that can either grow like into being a world-class player or a top-class player. I don't think you can get that anymore. There's not many people left in the market, so I'd say wait till next year until you have more money. Samari, I'm not sure on him. I think there's always been a lot of talk over the last while, Zeke, but I don't know. I think we'd have to wait and see him in another season, I guess. Yeah.
I don't see. I don't think we'll get CDM.
No, I personally think this season. What do you mean this season?
This season
yeah.
or next season. I don't think so.
I guess
personally, because number one, we have to focus on a striker in January because Zagallo's gone.
Yeah.
So we have to. There's no ifs, buts, maybe. We have to. We have to.
But the shame is I don't think United will, and the reason is he's like 30 million, good DM, potentially strong attack. See, but he's not going to be 30 million next season, Zeke. He's not going to be 30 million in Samaria. He's going to go up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But what's it called? I think United are not. See, I don't think United are going to get strike straight away. And the reason is because they're going to think, oh, we'll go with what we got: Sancho, Greenwood, James, Rashford, Martial. They think that's a good front five, but you can't like afford to have a front like only 5 attacking players again. Like at one stage, United only had 4. Like that's like 5 is bad enough. Like you should have minimum 6. Like, and I think to be honest, like I know you don't want to. I know you wouldn't want it, but like the more you think about it, like no offense, the more you think about it, you think maybe you get Josh King. I wouldn't want it, but like to be honest, it's like if we just put it this way, like it's I don't want to get Josh King or anything like that. But in January, let's just say Gallo's gone in January, yeah. What do you do? Who do you get? January is an awkward market. Who else can you? I wouldn't want. I've never said I want Josh King, but I'm just saying you might go for him. Like who do you really get instead of a Gallo? That would be a bench player that doesn't play many games. Like I think Josh King wouldn't mind being a bench player, but you literally no player will want to be second, third choice striker, because you have to remember that Greenwood's probably going to play striker a lot more now, because we have to remember that we wouldn't get Dembele, Zeke, he'd be third. We're not putting Greenwood to third choice, and the reason I'm saying third choice is because Sancho's going to start 80 to 85% of matches. Put him right wing. Martial might need a rest. Put Greenwood striker. Rashford might need a rest. Put James left wing. So like we have to remember that Jadon Sancho's going to be playing a lot of games because he's marquee signing. That's what happened with Pogba. He played nearly every game in his first season. So I think that, and same way, Maguire played every single minute. Like, we have to remember that. Wan-Bissaka played 95% of the matches. James, that was a bit different.
Maguire was like the most used centre-back in all competitions.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. He didn't stop playing.
Yeah. And I think that's going to happen with Sancho again. So I think if a Gallo third choice striker, I don't think he'll mind. I don't think you should buy a Gallo permanently. Like, no. He was good when you have him. I know. Like, but it's like you don't want to get Josh King, but who's out there that you can get that would play?
Sorry for cutting you off, but you didn't hear that. I was reading something today, and it said like Victor Osimhen rejected us because he had too much respect for Gallo and didn't want to compete for a bench place, or in his case, a starting lineup, because he'd like to think that. He rejected United because he's too much respect for Gallo.
Nah, in my opinion, I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Brother, he came in from his brother.
Really?
Yeah. I have it up here.
That hurts. So basically, what we're saying is, if United didn't extend the Gallo contract, we would have had Osimhen.
Yeah, Osimhen or Victor Osimhen.
Oh, snap. Oh, that hurts now.
Victor Osimhen turned down a summer transfer to Manchester United because he did not want to disrespect fellow countryman Aguero, according to his brother Andrew. Oh,
I'm kind of... See, that's what I mean. I feel that Tuanzebe could be good next season if he doesn't get injured. See, Tuanzebe doesn't... The problem is how long he's been out. Like, that tells me that...
If I'm right, that was
a year.
If he's not back by November, I think, or Christmas...
That's a year.
It'll be a year.
And see, the thing is, like, the problem now that United don't have many centre-backs again. Like, United are going with the same centre-backs they had last season. And because they haven't signed anyone, they've Rojo. He's going to get injured after 2 matches. I'm sorry, but Boy's going to get injured. We know that already. Boy's injured. Tuanzebe could. Let's just say Tuanzebe's not back yet.
Smalling's off to Roma.
Smalling's gone. So what do you have? Lindelof, Maguire, Rojo, and Phil Jones. who will probably get injured.
To training, but it doesn't mean anything. It just means that
Phil Jones is probably going to get injured. Right.
Yeah.
So Rojo as well. Which probably get injured. Let's be honest with ourselves. Mengi, do you really want to make him have to step up because you don't have enough centre backs?
Yeah.
It just like, I personally, look, we need left back, but if I had to choose, I'd get centre back because.
It's happening. Sancho's happening.
What did you hear?
Sorry. The United stand just said progress has been made for Sancho's personal agent fees. Question is whether United and BV can agree a fee, but that came from Simon Stone.
See,
you know how brief his media is, so like that's a pretty good policy.
See, and
that's all we needed.
See, the thing is about the thing. If you're leaking that you agree terms, that means you're literally. There's no reason you leak that you agree terms to not make the sign. You get me?
I keep saying to my friends, they're just saying that there's like, but then they don't have anything. If the deal doesn't happen, they don't have any excuse why it couldn't happen. That's the last excuse.
Like if you put
the agent
like
let them happen.
yeah, the sad thing is if we think about it, right, is what if that United weren't working on, like I said this last time, United, the reason why there wasn't much air about Van de Beek was, what if they're like, he even said it, oh the deal, like someone like oh I don't know who was close to Van de Beek said like in an interview, oh it took a very long time but like at least you're there now. So basically what that tells me is United weren't even working on Sancho the whole time and they were working on Van de Beek, and that's why things are actually getting confirmed now and getting sped up. That's what that tells me, because if you think about it, United don't work on two deals. We know that. Like, when have United done a double announcement or 2 signings in a week? 2 signings in space 2 weeks, let's just say. Not really, have they? Like,
you see, they couldn't, like, even if they wanted to do it this summer, they couldn't. Because number 1, it's 2, they're on internationals usually. Number 2, we need them for Crystal Palace, let's be honest. Number 3, they, like, if they wanted to do a double announcement, they actually couldn't with the 2 holes, scarves and everything that they used to because of COVID, you know? So it'd be very, and plus it'd be very hard to get into Old Trafford with Jadon Sancho and
without them, no.
Let's just say,
no, but like,
anyone knowing.
Yeah, no, but I just mean like, when was the last time they did it? You get me, like.
No, you know, I would like it, but I'm just saying that's why.
I don't. They wouldn't do them anymore because the reason is you don't ever see that in clubs either, and the reason they don't do it anymore is because marketability. Like realistically, you're gonna get split down the middle, 45-55 to each other, 50-50 of shirt sales, because you're not gonna get individual. Because what happens is you get Jadon Sancho, alright. If you announce Van de Beek first, wait for the first wave, 2 weeks, and then you're thinking, right, that's all the people getting Van de Beek jerseys done. And then the second wave is for Sancho, and then they announce Sancho, and everyone's like, oh, I wanted a Sancho jersey, I didn't think he'd sign. He signs, now they make even more money because people are buying that jersey as well. So that's about €120, about 2.
That's what I mean. You see, I hate the way, like, I like buying the jerseys, but I don't like funding the Glazers. But then again, they don't get anything from it as long as you don't order from the United store. They only get 5% or something. So that's basically the players' wages all put together.
Yeah.
You know.
See, and it's like the thing about this is like about the jerseys and all that is, you know, it's like Jadon Sancho will make them a substantial amount of money, because what happens is, it takes them a little bit, like not many stores do the printing anymore. I know it's like Lifestyle don't do it anymore, JD. Online.
Adidas or somewhere. I don't go into the store anymore.
And the reason I think they don't do it in the store, like the writing, it's not because like that's been a while now. The reason they don't do the writing, in my opinion, is because if you can't get writing in stores, the odds are you're more likely to order off the United app, if you get me. like, because if you do it in store, you're gonna go, right, it's local, it'll take you about 2 hours by the time to get it done, and it's probably cheaper. But you're more likely to click on that United app and go, here, might as well buy it off that. Like, so yeah. Third kit's nice, Zeke. Oh, I think it looks like a zebra crossing.
I agree with Zeke on that one. I agree.
I don't think it's bad, but I think, like, if you're at zebra crossing, what are you gonna do? Run over it? Or are you gonna stop? Like.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a zebra crossing.
That tweet from...
Yeah. I know. From Dry.
Sorry to
I know. Fuck, I'm messing. Like, now Van de Beek, what do you think will happen with him? Do you think he'll play, what percent of matches do you think, like what percentage? In your opinion?
In
all competitions, like what do you think, like 85%, 60?
World,
but what do you think United will do?
And Bruno start in midfielder.
Do you think that would happen?
I know that would never happen.
70, Zeke?
So it would probably be for a while. It's always been Matic, Bruno.
I think, but the problem is, I think you can build Van de Beek into CDM. I just don't think now. And the reason is like, you've seen it, like with Ryan Giggs, many people, like, they can certainly drop into different positions. Like, Ryan Giggs even did it later in his career, but, like, that's because he was losing his pace and just relied on his vision. But you can see, like, many people just, like, swap positions and stuff like that. Like, they can, like, mould into different positions. Like, Ronaldo was right wing, goes left wing, sometimes goes striker. Like, you can be interdimensional like that. I think people are taking more context than it should. Like, Van de Beek's not CDM yet. I'm using the keyword yet because he could be CDM. If you have the right coaching, this will actually prove, if United want to play the 3 midfield, this will prove if United's coaching is good enough.
You see, there's different ways of playing. You can't fit them into a formation.
The sad thing is, though, what I'm thinking of is they might play Pogba DM if you think about it, because he was playing DM near the start of the season. He might revert to that again. Like, see, I wouldn't see. It's not. See, I know Pogba. You can debate. Yo, Harry, in the stream, you could debate like, oh, you don't get the best out of Pogba, but you have to remember that, like, even when he came back with Bruno and all of that, he was playing slightly deeper, like, and doing those long balls, doing the true balls, you know what I mean, all that. So I think personally, like, he knows himself that Bruno and Van de Beek will probably be doing the goals, because that's what they've mostly got this season. And speaking of goals, Bruno Fernandes got top scorer in Liga NOS, even though he left in January.
Yeah, well, it actually is January. Technically, he got announced in February.
No, he got his first game was in February.
Was it? I thought he was.
It was, because it was announced on like the 26th, I think it was. It was announced in January, and his first game was February. Because remember we had the international break.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was the 0-0 against Wolves. So, like, top scorer in Liga NOS after January. I think that kind of, no offence to Liga NOS, but that kind of exposes the league. Like, no offence, but, like, if someone, you have, like, let's just say, 5 months of football after that, because I know COVID and all that, but you had, like, 5 months of football after that to get how many goals Bruno had. I'm not 100% sure how much he had in Liga NOS, my bad. But they didn't do it. It kind of is a bit odd for me. I think it's unfair to play Pogba in deeper role, as he's not that type of player. But if you're going to play those so you're telling me, yeah, but like Pogba knows himself. You could tell by his play that he knows he was playing deeper when Bruno came back. We know that. It was like Bruno cam, Pogba centre mid kind of, and Matic CDM. He knows that.
Yeah. He obviously doesn't care, because why else? If he didn't like playing CDM, number one, he would have asked Solskjaer to play.
Yeah, and all he wouldn't
have wanted to admit his future at Manchester United.
Exactly. I think Pogba probably knows something we don't, and I think he stayed because, and he was told what the future would have been, and then he's like, right, I'll stick with this plan. I'm going to stay.
Because, you know, I'm a firm believer that Ollie is the right man. all this, you know. I seriously think if Ed Blazers do back him, like obviously Ed doesn't do the transfers, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I seriously think Ollie will win a Champions League or Premier League. Because
like, to be honest, like the thing is, like for all we know, like it's a new season, it's a new thing. Like I'm not saying you're going to win the Premier or anything it means, but if you get Sancho, like you have the best. I don't care what anyone says, best front three in the league. First of all, debate that with me any day.
But you could arguably say the best backup as well.
Yeah, maybe even and even if you think about it, like whose midfield's better as well? Realistically, like on paper, United. Like I don't care what anyone says. On paper, United could win this, like win the league. Like I don't think it'll happen, but on paper, like United have the best front three, near enough the best midfield. So not an okay.
You see, I believe that, to be honest, but I'd never, ever, ever, ever say that in public.
No.
Never.
See, it's
obviously, like I'm saying it here, but I'm just saying, like I wouldn't say it to my friends.
Because you get slayed. It's just like it's kind of like on paper is the problem. It's just like I want to see how Van der Beek plays in the Premier League. I think Sancho, I think he'll be fine. I think he might take a match or two to like get back into things. You get me? Because the Bundesliga is not a bad league by any means. It's just not. It's a slower league. Because like basically, like I know that from watching a few. Like I've watched actually a lot of matches post lockdown of the Bundesliga actually. So I know it's a slower paced league. It's not like a slow league by any means. It just there's a lot more build up play and a lot more thought in it than there is the Premier League, and that might suit Sancho because Sancho has to be more creative, you could say, in the Bundesliga, and he might use that to his advantage because the Premier League is it's not that it's not creative league, but just like it's faster paced league. You have to think on your feet. Like if he so that might be his advantage, to be honest.
Yeah, it could be, but
we don't know.
Let's hope for the best.
Like our defense is the problem. We get Sancho next window or this window when he left back. See, the thing about the thing is, I don't know. I'm gonna double check this right now. Like I don't want to say it before. And then I look stupid, so 1 sec. Regulon height. No, I don't want it in meters. That's great, isn't it? Because I was just gonna say something. 5'10". Oh, never mind. I'll check Lindelof's height actually as well then. Do you know Lindelof's height? No? Lindelof height, 6'2". I was going to say maybe Regulon could do a job back as centre backs, but no. Well, he's a bit short. He's like Lindelof 6'2". He's 5'10". Like he could, but nah, I don't think so. So
Danny was in training and he looks a bit. It might be controversial. He looks a bit dummy, a bit weird.
What you mean?
There's a picture of him in Carrington. It's
very
weird. Like in the camera, in the car, he's like laying back, but his face isn't looking at it. It's like, oh, what's all these bright lights?
See, he's not used to all the media attention, I think.
It must be or something because
like, do you ever really see him like posing for pictures in Ajax kits or anything like that? Not really. Like he's not like used to all this media attention, so it's like it'll take some time to get used to. Like he's young as well, like so it's like he'll take some time to get used to because he's not used to being at a training ground getting pictures taken of him, having to pose, etc. like that, because he's never made a move. It's his first time in England as well, so we have to realise that he will have to get comfortable. He doesn't know English as well. Like he does know English, sorry, my bad, but he's not like he wouldn't talk English every few minutes, so it'll take him a while to get in that rhythm. So like we have to remember that like
sure, he has Scandinavian with Ollie and
yeah,
sure Frozen Hands I can translate for him. They're best mates.
Yeah, like he does talk English, like not he actually talks decent English as well. It just the thing is I'm saying is like it'll take him a bit to settle in. I think it's a different environment for him, I think it was different for Bruno because Ronaldo was here before and he knew Dallo. Like, he knew Fosu-Mensah, but, like, not, like, that well, you get me, like.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it'll take him a bit getting used to it, like, to get to know people and all that. I think Bruno is the type of player that gets stuck in and just knows what the job he has to do. I think Van de Beek will take a bit to settle in. Sancho, I think he knows a lot of the players. He'd probably know Luke Shaw. He'd know Rashford, Greenwood.
He's in group chats with them. No, obviously he would because he's English.
Yeah, and they're good friends. Him and Rashford.
He would be there for a few years. Like, he'd probably know Rashford.
Yeah, because he's good friends with Rashford. Like, there's proof of that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that he loves Martial, but I don't think he loves Martial more than Pogba. Because you know Martial he likes to keep to himself, a bit quiet.
So I think Sancho will settle in. It's just a matter of him settling to the Premier League, not like settling into England. But I just think it's a matter of him settling into the league.
He's from London.
Nice man.
Also from
in the chat.
Manchester, I suppose, because he played there.
Ripped that the core left on. Am I right for Watford LX? But like it's like. Yeah, I think Sancho's just good, a perfect signing. Like, people are thinking he's a right winger, he can play right. He's only right wing. Like, United have a lot of rotation now. Rashford up front, you could play. Rashford played right wing for a lot, left wing. Martial could play any of those front three as well. Sancho could play any, though not really striker. He could play number 10. He's played a bit there for Dortmund, not like a lot, but like I think it was about probably 8 to 10 games he played number 10 this season for Dortmund. Left wing, right wing as well. Greenwood could play striker, right wing, left wing. Like, you've a lot of rotation. James could play left wing, right wing. He's played striker a few times, but we need someone up there with him. So United have a lot of rotation next season, and you've of course Gallo. Like, United have a lot of rotation they could do next season.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have James on the left. And
right.
On the left.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he can play right.
He can play right, but I don't like him on the right because everyone slags him off. He doesn't know that.
It's just like, you see, with left wing he can cut in and shoot.
Yeah, he's much better on the left, and exactly my point. That's when everyone says he's crap, I'm trying to prove my point. He doesn't know the right. He can't cut in like on the left. He's better on the left.
Yeah,
and he will be a good player. And we've seen that against Palace. We've seen that against Southampton that time away when we drew 1-1. Loads of times we've seen it. It's just a matter of him playing on the left.
Yeah. TTX, I think we knew that about Sancho. Personally, Fabrizio Romano said a few months. I was just saying that. Didn't think Greenwood, Gallo, Van de Beek got bench strong. Yeah, I don't know. See, it's going to be weird. See, the first match will tell it all, I think, for what we're going to play. I don't care if anyone says, it's against Crystal Palace, etc. I think it will tell us a lot about how he's going to play next season. With Sancho probably, and you definitely Sancho's not going to be back. I don't think United are going to sign Sancho before Crystal Palace, personally, which is next week, I believe, isn't it?
No, it's 2 weeks because we have to have an extra.
Oh no! Yeah, it's it's next week because this weekend is when the Premier League starts, and then it's.
But I personally would be counting it's 2 weeks considering you haven't played first week. But if you're going by that, yes, it is next week.
Yeah.
If you're counting like we're going to play.
Unpopular opinion: Van de Beek give Pogba for was money. Well, that's why he was signed. It's not like he was signed to be like just a bench player that plays when someone gets injured. He's gonna have to do that. There's no reason United wouldn't have signed him if they didn't know that he could do a job and maybe do some rotations or play a bit.
So we have
midfield options. Are you talking about?
We will actually play our strong squad against Palace because
I think
we have the Carabao Cup on the 22nd, 2 days after.
Yeah.
And that's like a League One, so I'll probably play Mason Greenwood, Daniel James.
I think Greenwood will have to play against Palace. I don't know, to be honest.
I don't think so, because I'd say if the deal is fast-paced now, which I think it will, considering the
Sancho doesn't have to quarantine, does he?
I think it will happen. Like,
does Sancho have to quarantine? I don't know.
No,
I don't think he does. No,
he doesn't.
Because he's an English
because
national
he's flying on a private jet.
Yeah.
He gets international clearance.
Yeah, like, see,
He gets LSE can't test positive before now.
yeah, which I hopefully doesn't happen. But it's a bit weird. See, the thing is, we have to remember this as well. Like this actually just kicked in. We have to remember Pogba might not even be well to be back.
No, he was chilling with the missus, like.
I know that, but like we have to remember that you have to get busy. It takes a minimum of 2 weeks to get back, to get clearance, to basically say that right, it's not contagious anymore. You can go back to training if you're all and well. So he'll only be back training if he's okay Tuesday, and the match is Saturday, I believe. So. Like, if the match is Saturday, like, that's on, like, it's not going to be full, he might be full fitness, I don't know, I think, we'll have to see what happens with that, but I think, yeah, it wouldn't be, like, it's big if he's not back, but we have Van de Beek there. I'm not saying, like, he's better or worse, I'm just saying, like, probably a little worse, to be honest. That's not a bad thing. We know how good Pogba can be, but you know, Pogba tested positive, but he looks fine. He's with family and son. Yeah, you're right. He's guessing he's not as bad as everyone thinks. I never said he's bad. I was just saying like he could be. Like we'll have to see how he is. Because remember, like at the start, sometimes it starts off easy and then it grows up. It grows up. Yeah.
I presume everyone. Sorry for cutting you off there. I presume everyone knows that Donny van der Beek is going out with Dennis Bergkamp's daughter.
Yeah. See, because that's Van de Beek helped, Bergkamp helped, what's it called, Van de Beek go to Manchester United. He advised it. Overmars helped a lot. Van der Sar helped a big lot. With that deal, you get me?
Yeah. I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
Anything else you want to mention?
I am going to go on the record and say Jadon Sancho will be a Manchester United player I'm sorry, not by. I meant. I'm 90% sure he'll be a Manchester United player.
Okay. I am confident as well. I'd say 90.
I took out my ketchup out of the cupboard and he told me he'd be by the 14th of September.
Right. So you're just there looking like him. What did they say? Right, anything else? Is that last thing you want to say? Or
no, that's not.
Right, guys. It's been a good 40-minute show. Solid 40 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And don't die.
Yep.